Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. Today we are going to explore something that could be a real secret weapon for career advancement.
Oh,
Letters of interest.
okay.
And, you might be thinking, aren't those just for job applications? Not
Right.
quite.
Okay.
We're diving into an article from Rezoom.io
Mm-hmm.
called Letter of Interest, a scholarly guide for advanced professionals. And this piece takes a different angle.
Okay.
It's about proactively reaching out to organizations,
I see.
even when there isn't a specific job opening posted.
That's what makes them so fascinating.
Yeah.
Letters of interest are all about creating opportunities instead
Right.
of passively waiting for them to appear.
Exactly. So to kick things off, let's break down what a letter of interest actually is.
Yeah. The article defines it as a way to showcase your skills and aspirations to an organization, highlighting how you can contribute to their work.
Okay.
Think of it as a strategic proposition, rather than just expressing interest. It's different from a cover letter, which directly responds to a specific job posting.
Okay, so it's not just saying, hey, I'd love to work here someday, but more like, here's what I bring to the table, and here's how I can help you achieve your goals.
Yes,
That sounds incredibly powerful,
it is.
especially for those of us who are already established in our fields.
It really is. Imagine you're a researcher with a groundbreaking idea.
Okay.
Instead of waiting for a grant application cycle,
Yeah.
you could use a letter of interest to directly approach a foundation that aligns with your research.
Mhm.
It lets you take control and open doors that might have otherwise remained closed.
That's a fantastic example.
Yeah.
It really highlights how this strategy goes beyond just traditional job hunting.
Absolutely. It can be applied to collaborations, research projects,
Yeah.
or even just connecting with someone whose work you admire.
So we've established that letters of interest can be a potent tool.
Yes.
But why exactly are they so effective? What's the magic behind this proactive engagement?
Well, the article highlights 3 key benefits.
Okay.
First, it gives you access to hidden opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
those exciting projects or roles that never get publicly advertised.
Right.
By reaching out directly, you're tapping into what's known as the hidden job market.
It makes you wonder how many incredible opportunities we might be missing out on by just focusing on traditional job boards.
The second benefit is demonstrating initiative.
Okay.
Taking the first step and reaching out shows potential collaborators that you're proactive,
Right.
eager to contribute, and not afraid to seize opportunities.
Yeah.
These qualities are highly valued in any field.
It shows you're not just sitting back and waiting for things to happen.
Right.
You're actively shaping your career trajectory, and I can see how that would be appealing to any organization.
And finally, building connections.
Okay.
Even if there isn't an immediate opportunity, a well-crafted letter of interest can open doors for future collaborations or put you on their radar for when something relevant does arise.
Right.
Relationships matter, and this is a great way to start building them strategically.
It's almost like planting seeds for future growth, and who knows what amazing things might sprout from those connections.
Exactly. Now, the article even mentions that many organizations fill key roles through internal networks or without public postings. That alone makes a compelling case for taking this proactive approach.
It really does. Okay, so we've seen the potential, but how do we actually craft a letter of interest that gets results? What goes into making one truly stand out?
The article breaks down the anatomy of a killer letter of interest,
Okay.
starting with the structure.
Okay.
You want to begin with a professional header that includes your contact information and the recipients.
Just like you would with any formal letter, right?
Exactly.
This might seem obvious, but presenting yourself professionally from the very beginning is crucial.
Absolutely. It shows you're taking this seriously and approaching them with respect. And for those who might need a refresher, a professional header typically includes your name, title, phone number, email address, and any relevant professional links like your LinkedIn profile.
Great point. Now I'm guessing the next part is where things get interesting.
Yeah.
The introduction.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
This is where you need to hook them from the get-go.
Okay.
This article suggests aligning your goals with the organization's values right away, showing them how your aspirations match their mission.
It's like saying, we're on the same page, and I'm excited about the possibility of working together to achieve something meaningful.
Exactly. And if you can mention a shared connection or a specific initiative they've been involved in, it shows you've done your homework and adds a personal touch.
It's like showing up to a party and mentioning something specific you admire about the host's work. It instantly sparks a connection.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It really captures the essence of what you're trying to achieve with a strong introduction.
Okay, so we've grabbed their attention. Now it's time to showcase our expertise. But how do we go beyond just listing our skills and experience?
That's where you need to focus on specific, measurable achievements that demonstrate how your skills directly align with the organization's needs.
Okay.
You need to show, not just tell,
Hmm.
how you can add value.
So instead of saying, I'm a skilled project manager, you say something like, I spearheaded the implementation of a new software system that streamlined workflows and resulted in a 20% increase in productivity.
Perfect example.
Okay.
Data outcome, quantifiable results. Those are what make your claims believable and impactful.
It paints a clear picture of what you're capable of and how your skills have translated into real-world success.
Now think about this from the recipient's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
They're busy professionals inundated with information.
Right.
You need to make it easy for them to see the value you offer and how you fit into their world.
So we're not just boasting about our skills.
Right.
We're strategically highlighting how those skills can directly contribute to their success.
Exactly. And that leads us to the next crucial element, tailoring your content to the specific organization.
All right.
This is where your research really comes into play.
Mm.
You need to show a deep understanding of their mission, current projects,
Yeah.
recent achievements, even the challenges they're facing.
It's like showing up to a meeting fully prepared, having done your background research, and understanding the context of the discussion.
Yeah,
It shows you're serious about collaborating and contributing meaningfully.
you've got it. Now imagine you're a marketing professional reaching out to a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
Instead of just talking about your general marketing experience, you'd want to highlight your success in running campaigns for similar organizations,
Okay.
demonstrating your understanding of their specific audience and goals.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
It's about speaking their language and showing them you're not just looking for any job. You're looking for the right fit where you can truly make a difference.
precisely. And finally, we come to the conclusion. Here you want to end with a clear call to action, inviting further discussion or proposing specific next steps.
So instead of just saying, thanks for your time, you'd be more specific like, I'd love to discuss how my expertise in data analysis can help you achieve your fundraising goals. Please feel free to contact me at your earliest convenience to schedule a call.
Exactly. You're leaving them with a clear next step and showing them you're ready to engage in a meaningful conversation.
That's a great takeaway.
Yeah.
It's about ending on a note of confidence and proactive engagement,
Yeah.
making it easy for them to respond and continue the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just the framework. We still need to dive into the nitty-gritty of actually writing a compelling letter of interest. Where do we even begin?
It all starts with thorough research. Go beyond just skimming their website.
Okay.
Look at their publications, their presence in professional networks.
Yeah.
Maybe even reach out to current employees or alumni for insights into their, operational priorities and challenges. Insider information can be gold when it comes to crafting a truly tailored and impactful letter of interest.
That's such a good point. It's like the difference between reading a restaurant review and actually talking to someone who's dined there recently.
Right.
You get a much richer and more nuanced understanding of the experience.
Exactly. And speaking of personalizing the experience, the article emphasizes addressing your letter to a specific person whenever possible,
Okay.
rather than a generic to whom it may concern.
Right.
It shows that you've taken the time to understand their structure
Right.
and that you're serious about connecting with them on a personal level.
It takes that extra effort,
Yeah.
but I can see how it would make a huge difference in terms of making a strong first impression.
Yeah.
It's like remembering someone's name at a networking event. It shows you're paying attention and genuinely interested in building a relationship.
Precisely. And then comes that persuasive introduction we were talking about earlier.
Right.
The article gives a great example. With a deep respect for organization names' contributions to specific field or initiative, I am eager to explore opportunities to contribute my expertise in specific area. It's succinct, it's flattering, and it immediately positions you as someone who understands their work and is excited about the possibility of collaborating.
What I like about that example is how it weaves in specific details,
Right.
showcasing your knowledge of their work while simultaneously highlighting your own area of expertise.
Yeah.
It's not just a generic compliment. It's a targeted expression of admiration and alignment.
You hit the nail on the head. And that attention to detail carries through to articulating your value.
Okay.
This is where you go beyond just listing skills and dive into concrete examples of how you've used those skills to achieve tangible results.
So instead of simply saying, I'm an excellent communicator,
Right?
You'd provide a specific example, like, I developed a new communication strategy for my team that resulted in a 30% decrease in project delays and improved cross-departmental collaboration.
Exactly. Quantifiable results make your claims believable and demonstrate the impact you've had in previous roles.
Right.
It also helps the reader visualize how your skills could translate into success within their organization.
It's all about painting a clear picture of what you bring to the table and how your experience aligns with their specific needs.
And the article goes on to emphasize aligning your expertise with the organization's goals.
Okay.
It's not enough to say, I'm good at this. You need to connect the dots and explain how your skills can help them solve a problem, achieve a specific objective, or contribute to their overall mission.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah.
It's all about making it easy for them to see the value you offer and how you fit into their world.
Absolutely. It's like putting together a puzzle.
Okay.
You want to show them how your piece fits perfectly into the bigger picture.
Right.
They even provide a helpful example in the article.
Mm-hmm.
I believe my experience in specific domain aligns seamlessly with your initiatives in specific area. It's a simple but effective way to demonstrate that you're not just looking for any job. You're looking for the right fit where your skills and passions can truly flourish.
It's about finding that sweet spot where your aspirations meet their needs, creating a win-win situation for everyone involved.
Exactly. And then, of course, you wrap it all up with a purposeful conclusion.
Okay.
Reiterating your interest, inviting further discussion, and providing your contact information.
It sounds straightforward, but I imagine there are nuances and best practices that can make or break the effectiveness of a letter of interest.
Yeah.
The article does mention a methodology section. Maybe that's where we'll find those crucial tips.
You're right. The article goes on to list some best practices, those do's and don'ts that can make all the difference.
Okay.
It's like having a secret playbook for navigating the often uncharted territory of proactive career advancement.
Okay, let's dive into that playbook. Hit me with those do's.
Well, first and foremost, customize each letter. It's worth repeating. No generic templates. Take the time to tailor your message to the specific organization and the individual you're addressing.
It goes back to that idea of showing genuine interest and making a personal connection.
Exactly. Next, use advanced language.
Okay.
Show them you're a sophisticated professional who understands the nuances of your field, especially if you're targeting a scholarly or research-oriented organization.
I can see how that would be important.
Yeah.
You want to demonstrate that you can communicate effectively at their level and contribute meaningfully to their intellectual discourse.
And of course, back up your claims with evidence.
Okay.
Don't just say you're great at something, prove it. Include metrics, publications, awards, anything that substantiates your accomplishments and expertise.
Data is king, right? It adds weight to your claims and helps you stand out from the crowd.
Absolutely. And finally, remember to keep it brief.
Okay.
1 page is the sweet spot.
Right.
Nobody wants to wade through a novel when they're busy trying to manage their own work and responsibilities. Respect their time and get straight to the point.
Less is more, especially when you're trying to make a strong impression.
Yes.
Okay, now, for the don'ts.
Okay.
Those pitfalls we want to avoid at all costs.
First and foremost, don't send generic letters. We've said it before, but it's worth repeating.
Right.
Generic letters scream lack of effort and genuine interest.
Right.
Take the time to personalize your message and show them you've done your research.
It's like showing up to a job interview in sweatpants.
Oh, yeah.
You're not making a good first impression, and you're certainly not showing them that you take the opportunity seriously.
Another crucial don't focus on personal gain.
Okay.
This is about how you can benefit the organization, not the other way around.
Right.
Highlight your skills and experiences, but always frame them in the context of how you can contribute to their success.
It's about shifting the focus from what's in it for me to what can I bring to the table.
And of course, don't exaggerate or make unsubstantiated claims.
Right.
Honesty and integrity are paramount in any professional communication, especially when you're trying to build trust and establish credibility.
It's like building a house on a foundation of sand.
Yeah.
It's not going to last.
Right.
Be authentic, be honest, and let your genuine qualifications speak for themselves.
And finally, don't forget to follow up.
Right.
A well-timed follow-up email, maybe a week or 2 after sending your letter of interest, can keep you on their radar and demonstrate your continued interest.
It's a subtle but effective way to show them you're genuinely invested in the opportunity and eager to connect.
Exactly. Now, all of this advice is incredibly valuable, but the article specifically calls this a scholarly guide for advanced professionals.
Right.
So what does that mean for our listeners who are already operating at a high level in their fields? How do they take these principles and elevate them to reflect their advanced expertise and experience?
That's a great question. It's not just about using fancy words or jargon, right?
Right. It's about demonstrating a deep understanding of your field and the organization's work going beyond surface-level observations and showcasing your intellectual capital.
Okay.
It might mean citing relevant publications, discussing your research, or showcasing your thought leadership on industry trends.
So for someone in academia, it might involve mentioning their recent publications or highlighting their contributions to a specific area of research.
Exactly. Or for someone in a leadership role in a tech company, it might involve discussing their insights on emerging technologies or their vision for the future of their industry.
Okay.
It's about showcasing your ability to think, critically analyze complex information, and contribute to the advancement of knowledge and innovation.
It's about positioning yourself as a thought leader, someone who's not just following trends, but actively shaping them.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that can be incredibly powerful, especially for those seeking leadership roles, research collaborations, or other opportunities where advanced expertise is highly valued.
It's about demonstrating that you're not just looking for a job. You're looking to make a meaningful contribution to a field you're passionate about.
Exactly. Now, the article also addresses some common questions about letters of interest.
Okay.
Perhaps we can take a few minutes to walk through those quickly and provide some additional insights.
That sounds great. I'm sure our listeners have a lot of questions about how to navigate this process effectively.
Yeah.
Let's start with a fundamental one.
Okay.
How is a letter of interest different from a cover letter?
The article makes a clear distinction between the two.
Okay.
A cover letter is a direct response to a specific job posting, highlighting how your skills and experience match the requirements outlined in the job description.
Right.
It's a reactive approach to a known opportunity.
Oh,
A letter of interest, on the other hand, is a proactive outreach.
right.
Often when no specific opening exists,
Okay.
it's about creating an opportunity, sparking a conversation, and showcasing your value in a way that might lead to future possibilities.
So it's about planting seeds and nurturing relationships rather than just chasing after existing opportunities.
Exactly. Now, another common question is about length.
Okay.
How long should a letter of interest be?
I imagine brevity is key, especially in today's fast-paced world.
You're absolutely right. The article and most career experts recommend keeping it concise, 1 page maximum.
Okay.
Remember, you're trying to make a strong impression and respect the reader's time.
Right.
Get straight to the point, highlight your most relevant qualifications, and leave them wanting more.
Okay, so get to the point and make every word count.
Yeah.
What about follow-up? When is the appropriate time to follow up after sending a letter of interest?
The article suggests following up within 2 weeks if you haven't received a response.
Okay.
A polite and professional follow-up email shows that you're genuinely interested and keeps the conversation going.
Right.
It also gives you an opportunity to reiterate your value proposition and remind them of your key qualifications.
It's a gentle nudge that shows you're persistent without being overly aggressive.
Exactly. And finally, a question that often comes up in today's digital age. Can a letter of interest be sent via email?
I imagine email is the most common and efficient way to communicate in professional settings these days.
Absolutely. In fact, it's often the preferred method.
Okay.
Just make sure it's formatted professionally, includes a clear subject line that grabs their attention, and follows all the other best practices we've discussed for crafting a compelling letter of interest.
So it's not just about hitting send.
Right.
It's about presenting yourself professionally and ensuring your message makes a strong impact from the moment it lands in their inbox.
Exactly. Now, we've covered a lot of ground today exploring the what, why, and how of crafting effective letters of interest.
Right.
But what does this all mean for our listeners? How can they take this information and apply it to their own career journeys?
It's like we've unlocked a secret level in the game of career advancement. We've been so focused on traditional job applications that we've overlooked this incredibly powerful tool for creating our own opportunities.
That's a great way to put it. It's about taking control of your career trajectory and not waiting for permission to pursue your aspirations.
Yeah.
Letters of interest give you the power to reach out to anyone,
Right.
showcase your value, and start a conversation that could lead to amazing possibilities.
It's almost like we've been playing the game on easy mode, and now we've discovered a whole new set of strategies and tactics that can take us to the next level.
And the beauty of it is that it's not just about landing a specific job or project.
Yeah.
It's about building relationships, expanding your network, and positioning yourself as a thought leader in your field.
It's about creating a ripple effect that can lead to unexpected opportunities and collaborations down the road.
Exactly. Now, the article doesn't explicitly address this, but I think it's important to remember that crafting a letter of interest is also an exercise in self-reflection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it forces you to think deeply about your skills, your passions, and what you truly want to achieve in your career.
That's such a valuable insight. It's not just about impressing someone else. It's about clarifying your own goals and aspirations.
Precisely. By articulating your value proposition and tailoring it to a specific organization or individual, you're essentially creating a roadmap for your own professional growth.
So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
You're potentially opening doors to new opportunities while simultaneously gaining a deeper understanding of yourself and your career aspirations.
And remember, it's a process.
Okay.
Don't be discouraged if you don't get an immediate response.
Yeah.
Or if your first few attempts don't lead to a concrete opportunity.
Right.
Building relationships takes time, and sometimes the seeds you plant today might not blossom for months or even years.
It's like gardening.
Right.
You nurture the soil, plant the seeds, and patiently tend to them, knowing that with consistent effort, you'll eventually reap the rewards.
That's a perfect analogy. Now, to recap, letters of interest are a powerful but often underutilized tool for career advancement. They require strategic thinking, meticulous research, and a genuine desire to contribute.
Right.
But most importantly, they require action.
Don't let fear or uncertainty hold you back. Take the initiative, put yourself out there, and see what amazing opportunities you can create.
Imagine if you could reach out to anyone in your field and spark a conversation about collaboration.
Wow.
That's the potential of a well-crafted letter of interest.
It's an invitation to step outside your comfort zone, embrace the power of proactive engagement, and take control of your professional destiny.
So our challenge to you, dear listener, is to explore this topic further.
Okay.
Maybe research organizations you admire, draft a practice letter, or reach out to someone in your network who successfully used this strategy.
You now have a new tool in your professional toolkit.
Yes.
Go out there and make it work for you.
Until next time, keep diving deep.